All right, let's get started on some good news. Once again, Ireland, Norway, and Spain recognize the Palestinian state. These are three states that I routinely give mentions to, and with the exception of Spain, I guess. I'll just say it like this. Shouts out to all the HasanAbi adjacent states out there. You're doing the most. Welcome to the rest of the world. Because as Ireland, Norway, and Spain recognize Palestinian statehood, we must remember that there is more than 140 nations that have already recognized Palestinian statehood. It's just that Ireland, Spain, and Norway are some of the first in Western Europe to recognize Palestinian statehood. It is always the same map. It is always the same map. It's literally everything is the same map. It's always the same map. Now, the difference, however, is that that map is getting a little bit smaller for Western Europe. Ironic because, like, this is literally, this map right here happens to be where 4/5 of the entire planet live. We are talking about damn near every single person. 4 people out of every 5. Like, one person. Only 1/5 of the planet lives in the gray areas. The rest is just the rest of the fucking planet. It is like an omega super majority. So it's wild to consider that, like, these guys are kind of running the game. They're running the show still. And they will, at least for the time being. But this is kind of what we talk about when we say the Western world, the sphere of Western influence. This is it. But it is odd. Unequal exchange only happens in one direction for most of this, for most of the nations on this. And yet, you know, the great countries kind of dominate the world. But it's good. It's good that things are changing. And they are very mad. Of course, Israel is so fucking mad. Fuck Ireland, fuck Spain, fuck Norway. Fuck Spain, fuck Ireland, fuck Norway. It's like, are we for real right now? Like, what's happening? Anyway, let's get to the way that BBC is covering it, and then we'll move on to the reactions of it.
Spain, Ireland.
And I'll also, of course, talk about what it means. Oh, yeah, the Stop Anti-Semitism account that considered me to be anti-Semite of the week has also been hallucinating rapes once again, doing rape fantasies once again, because they're fucking mentally ill.
Spain, Ireland, and Norway have announced that they'll formally recognise an independent Palestinian state. The Irish Prime Minister Simon Harris said that the children of Palestine and Israel deserved peace and that it was the right thing to do. Meanwhile, Spain's Pedro Sanchez said that there was an obligation to act, while Norway's Prime Minister said that a two-state solution was in Israel's best interests. At least 140 members of the United Nations already formally recognise Palestinian statehood. Others, including the US and the UK, do not. Reacting to the news, the Palestinian Authority and its rival group Hamas have welcomed the recognition and urged other nations to follow suit. But Israel's Foreign Minister Israel Katz said the move endangers his country's security. He's recalling the ambassadors to the 3 countries. While Irish Prime Minister Simon Harris explained his reasoning for the move, let's have a listen.
Recognition is an act of powerful, political and symbolic value. It is an expression of our view that Palestine holds and should be able to vindicate the full rights of a state, including self-determination, self-governance, territorial integrity and security, as well as recognising Palestine's own obligations under international law. It is a message to those in Palestine who advocate and work for a future of peace and democracy that we fully respect your aspirations to be living freely, in control of your own affairs and under your own leadership.
The Irish Taoiseach there. Well, let's have a listen to what the Spanish Prime Minister had to say. Here's Pedro Sanchez.
The Progressive Coalition government of Spain, echoing the majority feeling of Spaniards at large, next Tuesday on the 28th of May will, at cabinet meeting, recognise the state of Palestine. We are going to recognize the state of Palestine for many reasons, which I can summarize in 3 words: peace, justice, and logic. Peace, because this is the only solution to the conflict. And by that, I imply the essential...
I still don't understand why recognizing Palestine is such a bad thing by Western countries, because they're bad people. That's it. I don't know how else to describe it other than they want to do bad things to the Palestinians. And even a symbolic recognition of Palestinian statehood is seemingly breaking through that narrative that, like, no, the Western world is actually unified under the common goal of doing bad things to the Palestinians. That's it. Remember the map I showed you, okay? The world is already pretty much completely on board with Palestinian statehood, universally recognized, damn near, with the exception of a couple countries. Those countries happen to be the most important countries, of course. Those countries also happen to be the countries that are doing the most to the Palestinians. You're always talking shit about America bad, but have you considered America good? I would love to consider America good. It's just that America rarely ever shows me anything good. If it did, I would tell you America good. I want America to be good. That's the whole point of my commentary. If America was good, then I could move on and play Batman Telltale all day, every day, and try to get a Sexo run going. Now, a lot of people immediately tune me out because they say, oh, your opinion on the matter is tarnished by the fact that you are a campist, or you're a tanky, or you're an America hater, you're a Muslim, Islamist, fundamentalist piece of shit. Anything ranging from, you just don't like America. If you don't love it, leave it, all the way down to like, uniquely weird takes, hyper-specific takes, all of which gets it wrong. So for me, it is very frustrating to see America doing such egregious things, such awful things. But I'm glad that there are at least other Western countries, whether it is a consequence of elections coming up, whether it's for their own political machinations, have decided to take a stance against America's Western influence, America's influence on the West, America's hegemony, America's superpower status. Simon Harris is definitely doing this because the leftist Irish parties are predicted to win the upcoming local and European elections, and day one they would have done this. He's trying to get ahead of them. Again, good but political move. Yeah. The majority report. Thank you for the raid. Hope you had a good stream. To Uncle Sam, my real uncle, we are covering Ireland, Norway, and Spain, recognizing the Palestinian statehood. Anyway.
Question of the two states, Israel and Palestine, accompanied by mutual security guarantees, as many other countries do.
Spain's Pedro Sanchez speaking earlier in Madrid. Well, earlier I spoke to our correspondent there, Guy Hedgecoe.
Yeah, it's not a surprise at all. Pedro Sanchez, a socialist prime minister, has been campaigning to try and gather support from his European partners for the support for a Palestinian state for some time now, for several months. He hasn't managed to persuade the really sort of big countries in the European Union, the major economies, to get on board with it. But he has persevered over recent months, and he's been working in particular alongside Ireland on this. And Pedro Sanchez has consistently been saying that this is a step that has to be taken. It reflects public opinion in Spain, as well as being just the right thing to do. He talked about this being a move based on peace and justice in his speech to Congress today. And he seems to believe that it's a move which will work as well, given that he has some support from other countries, certainly from Ireland and Norway, in doing this.
That's Guy Hedgecoe there. Well, for more reaction on the day's developments, let's go straight to Jerusalem and join Dan Johnson, who's there for us. Dan, first of all, just take us through the reaction we've been getting from the Israeli government.
The Israeli government is outraged and angered by this move. We've had the foreign minister, Israel Katz, recalling the ambassador.
Israel is so over. They're attacking toddler content creators. Yeah, it's fucking nuts. And I'm glad that there's more coverage on things like this. I didn't really cover the Miss Rachel saga, the Miss Rachel drama, but it's crazy. It's so crazy that CNN is covering it. One thing I do want to say, by the way, is that currently 7 members of the 27-nation European Union officially recognize a Palestinian state. Now, of course, it might not come as a surprise to you, but 5 of them are former East Bloc countries, obviously, who announced their recognition in 1988. as did Cyprus before joining the bloc. Sweden announced its recognition, however, in 2014. As far as I understand, though, the current conversation in Sweden that is being conducted by like Adolfo Hitler and Omega Hitler, but Omega Hitler, social democrat, versus Adolfo Hitler, neoliberal far right wing guy, is maybe we shouldn't recognize Palestine any longer. So we'll talk about we'll talk about Sweden in a little bit. Hello, welcome to Sweden. This is the ruling party. We are social democrats who believe that you should kill Muslims. And here is the right-wing party. They are also invested in killing Muslims and and think that we need to stop the refugee crisis in our country. That's right. Also, austerity measures are very good. Once a proud nation where the democratic socialist regime reigns supreme, Sweden literally still rests on the laurels of its former glory, okay? Still rests firmly on the laurels of its former glory as all of its current contemporary politics basically rips that entire process of social democracy, real existing social democracy, apart. Okay? Yeah, I remember the Swedish minister saying Israel has a right to kill and then stopping himself. Lol, they ain't got nothing on our current Dutch social democracy, literal Trump lookalike, Geert Wilders. Oh my God, don't even get me started on fucking Geert Wilders, which is just gay Donald Trump. He is just gay Donald Trump. He is literally, if you like did a European AI filter on Donald Trump, it would spit out Geert Wilders. It's so funny. Wait, Donald Trump isn't gay? I mean, Donald Trump is zesty with it too. Here is another wonderful American Civil Rights Movement organization, the ADL, weighing in on the decision. Shame on the governments of Norway, Ireland, and Spain for unilaterally recognizing a Palestinian state. This was always the wrong approach, but doing so in the wake of Hamas's genocidal massacre is a victory for those seeking Israel's violent destruction. It's just like, dude, you're an American civil rights organization. What are you talking about? What? Like, why does nobody go, that's weird that an American civil rights organization is chirping? Dutch Liberal Party is about to be ousted, be the EU liberals for joining a coalition with Wilders' extremist party just now. But I would love if it happened. It's kind of funny how much airtime is given to a few majority white countries recognize Palestinian human rights. Meanwhile, the rest of the fucking world recognizes at the top of the hour. God damn it, dude. It's 11:51. It's 11:51. Dude, it's not even like 11:53. That's crazy. Okay, that's cheap. That's cheap. You're being cheap. That is like, the grace period is 5 minutes. Okay, 11:55 and onward. But you got owned as well in some ways, because I was going to say that at the top of the fucking hour, there's a 3-minute ad break. And if you no longer want to see those ads, all you need to do is subscribe, ladies and gentlemen, boys, girls, and NBs. Because we celebrate Ireland here every day of the week, regardless. What a beauty. And at the top of the hour, we celebrate Ireland once again. Come, let us hear you tell, are you slandered great Parnell? How you slew them Arabs 2 by 2. Anyway, here's the 3-minute ad break now. You can also get gifted a sub by Sakura Gar. Thank you for the 10 gifted subs, allowing 10 people to no longer see the ads at the top of the hour. Here it is.
The children of Palestine, they deserve peace. It is long past time for a ceasefire, for the unconditional release of hostages, for unhindered access for humanitarian aid. There should be no further military incursion to Rafah. There should be no more Hamas or Hezbollah rockets fired at Israel. Civilians on all sides must be protected under international humanitarian law.
We will see a united Ireland in my lifetime. We will see a united Ireland in my lifetime.
Today's decision to recognise Palestine is taken to help create a peaceful future, because a two-state solution is the only way out of the generational cycles of violence, retaliation, resentment, hatred, where so many wrongs can never make a right. Just as Ireland's recognition as a state eventually led to the establishment of our now peaceful republic, we believe that Palestinian statehood will contribute to peace and to reconciliation in the Middle East. A peace that honours the legitimate aspirations of all people in the region to live with respect, justice, security and dignity, free from violence or the threat of violence. Today, moving in lockstep with other European colleagues, we seek to be bearers of hope. We want to reaffirm our belief that peace is possible, that justice is achievable, and that the recognition of both states, Palestine and Israel, is the cornerstone on which that peace must be built.
For those of you who don't know, obviously, the Irish Republicans who did liberate Ireland from British colonial occupation, okay, who fought long and hard during the Troubles, they've always felt very close to the Palestinian struggle for obvious reasons, for understandable reasons. The Irish have always been super based on the issue of Palestine in general, you know, because England was the country that fucked them over in the same way that it fucked the Palestinians over. Let's listen to what the Israeli Foreign Ministry had to say.
The possibility of recognizing a Palestinian state risks turning you into a pawn in the hands of Iran and Hamas. Such a move...
Bro, this is literally just a threat, okay? This is just a threat. They're saying like, you are starting to look very much like Hamas, and we will deal with the Hamas tunnels under Ireland as well.
Move will only strengthen Hamas and weaken an already dysfunctional Palestinian Authority. The fact that Hamas leaders are thanking you should serve as a wake-up call. Your actions will only fuel extremism and instability. Progress can only be achieved through direct negotiations within a wider regional context. Don't be pawns in the hands of Hamas. Say no to recognition.
That's great, man. Thank you. The only ones who would cause more instability following a recognition of Palestinian state are you. Mind your own business. Foreign Minister said Israel will not let this go. Katz recalls envoys from Norway, Ireland over Palestinian state recognition. Israel will not let this go quietly. Oh no. Oh no, they're isolating themselves further diplomatically from the Western world. Oh well. Oh no. What will everybody do? Bro, no. I don't understand it. What will anybody do without Israel? What will anybody do without Israeli cooperation? No more ways for you. Say bye-bye to Waze and the shittiest techno music you have ever heard. No more Soda Stream. It's like without incredibly invasive surveillance technology and like weapons, some weapons, what the fuck is Israel good for? What the fuck has Israel done? Soda Stream, dude? Bubbly water? Is that it? That's it? Waze? Israel only knows one speed, bro. Just killing children. That's it. That's like the best thing that Israel is good at. The number one thing that Israel is good at is just like killing children and then training our fucking cops in the United States of America. Look no further than how gross Sabra hummus is, which I was automatically doing a BDS before I even knew the existence of fucking BDS because of how dog shit it was. It literally doesn't taste like chickpeas. I don't know how they did that. I do not understand how Sabra hummus was able to literally take hummus, which is like pretty similar in taste, no matter what. Like, obviously, it depends on like what kind of spices you put in it, you know, how you spice it up, how you season it. But it blows my mind. It just doesn't taste like hummus at all. Literally all ADHD medication. Teva is one of the largest pharmaceutical manufacturers in the world. Also, all amoxicillin is made in Israel, if I recall correctly. Also, like a fuck ton of computer chips. Well, I mean, ultimately, it doesn't really matter. Let's be real. If they were to fucking try to actually legitimately stop trading with the world, it would be unironically worse for Israel overall. That's my point. Israel has no way to pressure people. Okay? It doesn't. It is a settler colonial state that was literally designed by the Western world and has only been able to be as violent as it wants to as a consequence of the Western world. Without the Western world, without the Western world and its unconditional support, Israel is nothing. It doesn't exist. It is fake, okay? Isn't real. You might as well call it. That's it. And this is something that I've tried to stress to people over and over again since October 7. And many people have even chirped at me and said that I'm wrong. Like, oh, America comprises only 5% of Israel's like overall weapons or whatever. Dude, literally, America can shut Israel down tomorrow, okay? Without ever even firing a single fucking bullet, mind you. It could. If the United States chose to do so, tomorrow Israel was real, okay? I mean, we'll never do it, but that is the reality. Think about it. Israel needs our unconditional support. Israel needs our political cover. Israel needs our steady trade, more so than many other countries. It's not just the military support that we offer, even though we offer plenty of that as well. And it's baby-killing endeavors and its ceaseless bloodthirst. America always has weapons. It's extremely funny to see the video mention Hamas leaders thanking them as something bad because most countries don't consider Hamas to be a terror organization. My country doesn't. Almost the same map as recognition of Palestine, but inverse. Yeah, that's the other part of the process as well. Foreign Minister Israel Katz recalls the Israeli ambassadors in Ireland, Norway for immediate consultations. Oslo announced it will recognize the Palestinian state, and with Dublin expected to make a similar decision. I'm sending an unequivocal message to Ireland and Norway. Israel will not let this go quietly. Ireland and Norway intend to send a message to Palestinians and the entire world. Terror pays, says Katz in a statement. Can I just also do another fucking I told you so moment? Remember when I said that if Israel continues to be this like violent psychopathic entity that is like hyper focused on bloodshed, and I said this basically on fucking October 8th, that, you know, it is going to dismantle America's influence over the world. Our undying loyalty, our fealty to the state of Israel and its endless bloodshed is going to basically dismantle American power status. Is basically going to show the world that we have no fucking smoke. We cannot control our own attack dog. The fact that the ICC is applying to send arrest warrants to the Israeli head of state and the defense minister is proof of that. The fact that now you have Western nations, okay, not Eastern Bloc nations in 1988, not fucking the one-off with Sweden, but actual fucking Western nations like Spain, Norway, Ireland coming out and being like, no, we recognize Palestinian statehood too. This is why I always state it opens up new pressure points. It's massively important. Okay? America is an incredibly powerful country. Okay? We have our tentacles all around the globe. We have 800 or at least 400 official military bases all around the world. We have NATO, which is a protection racket. We have the SWIFT financial process that controls 80% of every transaction that occurs globally. It's all run on the dollar. It is very, very, very difficult to dismantle. Okay? Obviously, virtually impossible to dismantle, as a matter of fact. When America says, no, we are going to let Israel go crazy mode, it's really, really hard to push back against that. But due to how resilient both the Palestinians have been and also the pro-Palestinian protesters have been, the pressure is getting to a boiling point. Okay? It's impossible to avoid. It's impossible to not recognize. And it is genuinely causing fear in the hearts of many in the American leadership who absolutely will have a very difficult choice to make. How many more AIPAC dollars do I want versus completely losing America's grip on the entire globe and its affairs? I already ran the top of the hour ad break, by the way. I did.